Jericho again. I know. 2 of them in one night. I am so falling behind. I am so sorry. I am sorry I posted late. As soon as I get a better schedule on my hands. I know, it's funny. I'll be making regular posts at regular times. That's in the future. I don't know if it's in the near future or what. Kind of up in the air at the moment, you know. Anyways, I told you I was going to put up the nasty neighbors again, right? Well, I posted this in the group of Gamer Goddesses on Facebook. Okay? There's one girl named Angel. She's surrounded by them. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for her. There's loud noises and dogs and kids and all this other stuff. I don't have a problem with kids just as long as, you know, you don't do anything to screw up my space. Okay? And if my daughter has them over, you know, and stuff like that, then that's fine. There's another one that had stuff stolen from her. Whew. And it was a relative. Oh, that's horrible. Somebody would have been losing teeth. Okay. I asked people about their nasty neighbors to tell you mine. Alright? Because mine is absolutely horrible. I had one of them move. One moved. Thank goodness. I had to deal with that crap for a year. It was, not to sound racist or anything. It was a skinny black woman. Okay? She had 5 kids. Had an old man, you know, living there. It beat the hell out of her any chance he got, you know, all this other junk. But yet she had to be mean and nasty to everybody on the street. Oh my goodness. Oh. I mean, this woman had issues beyond issues. You know, it was like bipolar and depression and all this other stuff grabbed into anger and let forth the fury. You know, and apparently I was prime target. It was great. I mean, the neighbors that lived next to her on, if you were facing, it'd be on our left-hand side, would be so annoyed with them. And we're so thankful they left. You know, even though she thought that they were the coolest and went running over there for every little thing. Well, here's the reason why. She was on Section 8, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's called Metro also. I don't know what else it's called. And I don't have a problem with people on that. I really don't. Not whatsoever. If you need it, you need it. And if you need help, you need help. Ooh, pardon me. That's what it's there for. And I don't have a problem with people being on food assistance and cash assistance. No, I don't have a problem with that. But the people I do have a problem with that A, can afford a new freaking car, brand new, drive it off the lot car and sit on their ass all day. I want that job. You know? And keep cranking out kid after kid after kid after kid just to stay in the system. Those are the people that irritate the piss out of me. And think that their shit don't stink. This was the ones that were living across the street. That's one neighbor. Oh my God. And on top of that, there was an alleyway behind their garage, and it was detached from their house. It was like a freaking drive-through. There was people coming in and out of there all hours of the night. Dealing and wheeling and dealing what? I have no idea. But it was all the time. And then they had, of course, on top of this, they had a subwoofer base, boom, you know, just system in their SUV, brand new, spanking SUV. It was a Suburban. The big tank, right? Well, you had to because you had to house all them kids, you know. And here's the reason why that I say about them kids. These kids were horrible. They had no respect for anybody. They cussed and damned you whenever they freaking pleased. And on top of that, they'll sit there and make up shit just so they can get away with beating up somebody. Yeah. Their parents would believe it, and they would tell the other parent to go fuck off. Their kids could do no wrong. They're one of those parents. And they were one of those people, too. I can do no wrong. See my halo? It's being held up by my horns, you know. Those are the people I absolutely despise. They are career welfare. They need to get off of their butts and do something instead of sitting there on the system. Because it makes my taxes go up. It's horrible. It makes them go up. It makes them disappear because you think it's going to this, that, and the other. Nope, it's going right into their pocket, right across the street. You can just pretty much hand them your paycheck, and you get screwed. I hate those kind of people. Absolutely despise them. Okay? Those are the kind of people that need to be on a, okay, as soon as your last one, you can only have a, minimum of how many kids, and as soon as your last one turns 18, you're off, and I respect the ones that are on it, but they are working their butts off to get off of it. That's fine, okay? That is completely okay. I have mad respect for people that do that. They admit that they need it, and they admit that they are going to get off of it, and they work their ass off to do it. On the contrary, then there was those people. Needless to say, it was the epitome of a black person. I'm not meaning to sound racist because it works both ways. Do not sit there and get an idea about it. Because there's white people, and then there's black people, and then there's Asian, and then there's Mexican, and all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of races. But there's white people, and then there's white trash. There's black people, and then there's... Do you get it? It's not being racist. There's two kinds of people. And there's the good guys, and then there's the bad guys, right? It goes for everybody. Because race is something you do in a car, on your feet, or anything like that, and it is not describing the person. That's it. Okay? These were the bad guys. And they worked the system. And oh my goodness, the mom over there could turn the waterworks on and off like that. Drove me absolutely nuts. Because the cops had been called to her house God knows how many times during 1 year. They were getting sick and tired of coming out there. Hell, I even knew the same two cops that came out to that residence every time. Same two. And I felt so bad for those guys. They would sit there and knock on normal people's doors, regular people, I being one of them. I knew them by name. It was bad. And, okay, what'd she do? Or, okay, what happened? Or, okay, what was going on with this? And all this other stuff. And they'd always come over and ask me. Because apparently everything was my fault. You gotta love people like that, I swear. So, and anyways, this is how she gets out of her house. Because she screwed up. She's thinking that, I can do no wrong, and I don't have to follow deadlines or anything like that. Section 8 sent her a piece of paper that she needed to sign and send back in. Simple enough, right? Anybody can do that. Well, since she has this kind of mentality that she can do no wrong, she thought she didn't have to do it. Oh, blessing of karma, come hither. They were so happy because she put on the waterworks in the office. They didn't believe it because they knew how she operated. And claimed that her caseworker was drunk and never sent her the paperwork. They have documented proof of this shit. So, and they told her that they needed it in writing. And she goes, what? Is my word not good enough? And her boss goes, no. So needless to say, I'm freaking ecstatic. Because those kids are out of here. The neighborhood's quiet again. Kids are still starting to come out of their houses and start playing, finally. Because those kids terrorized the goddamn neighborhood to the point where all the kids stayed inside. They didn't want to deal with them. That was hilarious. And since then, there's 2 more incidents I think are absolutely hysterical because it's funny as shit. The mom didn't put a change of address in when she was getting her kids registered for school. And there's a new family living in there now. The chick over there has 3 kids. They're awesome. She's awesome. Oh my goodness, I wish I had her earlier than that twit that got in there. But anyways, she was dropping her kids off at the bus stop. To ride the bus to school. Did you not get the memo? That's against the rules. You can't do that. And the mom that lives over there now, the school was sitting there going, oh, you're giving us a false address and da-da-da-da-da. And she goes, no, I'm not. I actually live here. Whoever else is using this address, they're the one that's pulling your chain. And they figured it out real quick. Well, it got back around to me. And she was still doing it. And even though the school warned her, like, look, you could put them on the right bus stop, or we're going to make you a permanent pickup and drop off. She didn't listen. Attitude, I can do no wrong. Got in the way again. Now she's on permanent pickup and drop off because I made a phone call. But apparently, everything that's happened to her is my fault. She cannot take any responsibility for her own actions or anything like that because she can do any wrong. Oh my goodness. This is all your fault. And she was nasty about it in my face, telling me that, and this was like a couple weeks later. I'm standing in Walmart, of all places. Walmart, you get my thumbs up for holding every kind of freaking person in there, including this one. She's in Walmart returning stuff, threatening the people behind the counter to tear them up. I'm going to whip your ass if you don't get this shit done correctly. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Turns around, sees me. I'm like sitting there like, oh shit, here we go. And she goes, you fucking called skill again on my ass. I'm going to tear your ass up. I ain't got to worry about papers now, And I was like, don't you take enough beatings from your old man? I'm going to whip your ass. Needless to say, she's like this big around, okay? She is that big around. And if you haven't seen me, I'm a big girl, okay? I've had 2 kids, and this stuff don't come off for nothing, especially with C-sections. All right. How in the hell is a skinny-ass black woman going to beat up a big girl that knows how to throw her weight around? This is the one thing I want to know. I would love to know. Oh, my gosh. But needless to say, she does this in the middle of Walmart. There's at least 6 other people that saw this. And on top of that, there's a camera that's trained on her. Are you stupid? What is wrong with you? Well, apparently she got in trouble. I filed something against her. I don't know what the hell it was. It was a kind of like an incident report. And I got to go home. Well, needless to say, the cops showed up and told her to leave the store and never to come back. Well, she hadn't listened in the whole 9, and I haven't seen her in a while. A long while. It's kind of funny because I think she's been arrested. And I think her kids are taken away. I'm sorry, but for people like that have that kind of violent tendencies and live in that kind of situation and think it's okay to be beat up by their old man, I'm glad you got your kids taken away. They don't need that crap, so why are you putting them in it? And then you're not smart enough to leave in the first place, so... And you keep letting it happen, and the kids are going to grow up thinking that this is okay. I tell you what, they're stupid-ass people. That's nasty neighbor number 1. I has 2, and this one lives right on the other side of there. She is, I don't know how old she is, but she is an older woman from Texas. Why I know this? Because she announces it to everybody. Honey, I'm from Texas, and we don't put up with shit like that. Well, okay. Announces it every chance she gets. Okay. This woman is retired. Retired. So she has all this time in the world to do shit. Okay? She's got the perfect garden. She's got the perfect lawn and all this other stuff. I am a mom of 2 kids of one range to the other. I have a 10-year-old and I have a 1-year-old. You know how hard it is for me to get out in the damn garden? Especially when I don't have any backup. I've been trying for a while, but it ain't going anywhere. I mean, I have the starts of a brick patio out back, but it's not going anywhere. Anyways, it will sooner or later. But she has no problem getting into everybody's business, figuring, out what everybody's doing. She pretends to walk her dog and looks around at everybody's property. And I had some overgrowth in the back of my yard that I was going to get to today, and I get a nasty phone call from a place called Property Management, and if you live in town and you don't live out in the country, this is what they do. They give you 2 days, 48 hours to fix your shit, or they're going to fine you. My fine is $150 if I don't get it cleaned up. Took me all of 5 minutes, and I got it cleaned up, and I was like, well, can I know who said this? They're like, oh, it's your next door neighbor. As a matter of fact, she reported half the neighborhood. Oh, Lordy. And I warned these guys, and I said, this is what this woman does all day. She nitpicks to the point of where nothing is safe and sacred anymore. And it has gotten out of hand. She noses into everybody's business. She, comes over and noses into my shit all the time. She lingers around the front of my house looking What are you doing? What's going on back here? Kind of deal. And it's driving me nuts. Oh, there are some days where I wish she would fulfill her threat. Because she was sitting here going, well, this place is so bad, I might as well move back to Texas. See you later, bye. I mean, you try to get away from her and you can't. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can't get away from her. And it drives me nuts. Because she's renting her house. And I've bought. Okay. My husband and I worked our butts off. We bought a house. And she can move real easily. Go ahead, go. We can't. We can't move all that well. You know, we've got to set up and this and that. You know, they're with the real estate agent and all this. Yeah. It's going to take us a while. Plus, we've got crap in here we got to fix. But it's nasty neighbors, not me spewing on everything that's going wrong with me. But no, that's one nasty neighbor. At least she's kind of tame, kind of not. That's putting it lightly. The one that used to live across the street, good Lord. I hate going outside. I mean, the one out there stepped on my property, God knows how many times, you know. Come take me off your fucking property, bitch. Come on, come do it. I don't have to. I don't have to. My dad lives 5 minutes away, and he's one of those guys that has an arsenal. So you come on his property, and you're going to get shot with something. And he does exercise that right to bear arms because he has a conceal and carry. Freaking hilarious. Because all I had to do was call my dad, be like, hey, this woman's coming over here, she's in my property, blah blah blah, you know. And she goes, you calling the cops? I'll be off of here before the day. I said, no, I didn't call the cops. I said, just wait. And she's sitting here, and she's, you know, almost up on the front porch steps, and I'm sitting there holding my son. And she's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? My dad in there, and he sits there, and he has the gun pointed at her. He's behind his door, and he goes, back away from her. and she's like, who in the fuck are you? And then she notices, hey, there's a handgun in your face. And she went, oh shit. You idiot. And then of course the cops come because my dad pulled a gun. You know, and it wasn't even unlocked. And I'm not talking about the trigger. The safety was on. There we go. Safety was on. It was loaded. He explained what I explained to him, that my dad can get over there quicker than you guys can. And we're going to end this real quick. And it was the same two cops, so they know who I was. They knew who my dad was. And they're going, okay, they give the gun back. And they give that gal across the street a fine for trespassing. The fine is like $500 first go around. Oh yeah, it's pretty steep. And she was bitching, I ain't got that kind of fucking money. What the fuck you want me to do with it? And the cop goes, well, you either pay the fine, or you can spend 60 days in jail. Either one. And she wasn't bound to be anybody's bitch in jail. So she paid the fine. Where she got that money, I have no idea. Taxpayers unite. We're paying off people's fines. But anyways, I do have to thank my dad for that one. I really do. He saved my butt because I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know what she had on her or anything like that. And I didn't know she had the audacity to start doing shit with my son in my arms. So, but I do thank him for that. But anyways, this is the end of this ranting vid. Okay? And this is why I preach. Be nice to each other because we're all we've got. Because you start acting like these people, there's no respect paid to you. There's no amount of give a shit going on, you know. They ain't gonna give a fuck. Like, zero fucks given. If you act like this, nobody is going to be neighborly and help you out or anything like that. And it's point proven, you know. You don't act like that around people. Period. I don't know why they would do this crap. You know, because they think, oh, well, because I'm on this, that, or the other, or I just did this on my own and blah, blah, blah. Well, yay, hooray for you, but don't use that kind of empowerment to run over people. It's supposed to be using as the opposite reaction, you know? People don't care. That's why everybody that's watching me, I have 17 subscribers right now, and I'm hoping to get quite a few more if you like, share, and subscribe. But please, be nice to people. Be kind. I know some people might try to step on that kindness, and that's when you got to put your foot down. But don't be an asshole about it. Okay? That's how you get people to go, disappear. They did Houdini act. Don't be jerks. Be nice. Be kind to people, because that's all you got. That's all we've got is each other. That's it. It doesn't matter what kind of family you come from. It doesn't matter what background. If you're old enough to know better, the difference between right and wrong, good and evil, kind and horrid, do it. Do it. Be kind to somebody. I dare you to go out and find, if there's a homeless man that you've noticed that's been sitting there, go out and buy him food. That's all he needs. That's all he's wanting. It's food. Go out, if you find a mom that's needing help them. Help them any way you can. Help them to babysit kids. I know if you don't like kids, then you don't have to go that far. But help them babysit. Help them try to find them a job. Something like that. Because some of these women come from different backgrounds and you have no clue what's going on. So don't be so quick to judge, okay? Definitely don't be so quick to judge because people are on assistance and need it, okay? Don't think of them as, every single one of them as career welfare, okay? Because most of them aren't. It's just those ones that slip through the cracks, like the one over there just decided to be a jerk about it. Those are the ones that slip through. But other than that, be nice to people. Be kind, be sincere, mean everything you say, okay? Even if it's, and if you say something really nasty and bad, own up to it. Be responsible for it, okay? Like, yep, that's what I said. I meant it at the time, and I do apologize. If you do, I do apologize for it, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't, you don't, that's people's choice. But people have the ability to be kind. People have the ability to help. People have the ability to be there for somebody, even if they just want somebody to talk to and spend time with. Go do that. That's a much better way to spend your time than to sit there and bitch about the homeless man taking up the sidewalk. Anyways, be kind to each other. We're all we've got, okay? Facebook, Twitter's in the description below. Peace out, babies.